Last week, I got a message from someone who watched our first video. Let me read you part of what she wrote. I did it. I took the first step. I woke up Monday morning, and before I reached for my phone, I took those 5 deep breaths like you said. I thanked God for my body. And then, I cried, because I realized I haven't thanked Him for my body in years. Maybe ever. All I've done is criticize it, ignore it, push it past its limits, and wonder why I feel so exhausted all the time. Her name is Michelle. She's 42, works in marketing, has 2 teenagers, and like so many of us, she's been running on empty for longer than she can remember. She told me she can't remember the last time she slept a full 8 hours. She eats lunch at her desk, when she remembers to eat lunch at all. She used to love hiking. But now the thought of putting on workout clothes feels like one more thing on an already impossible to-do list. Her body aches. Her mind feels foggy. And somewhere along the way, she stopped feeling at home in her own skin. I know I should take better care of myself, she wrote. But honestly, I don't even know where to start. And part of me feels guilty even thinking about it. Like, shouldn't I be focused on more important things? My kids, my work, serving others? Isn't caring about my health just selfish? Maybe you felt this too. Maybe you're sitting there right now in a body that's tired. A body you've been ignoring, or fighting, or just tolerating. A body carrying tension in your shoulders, exhaustion in your bones, and a quiet ache you've learned to live with because you don't have time to deal with it. Maybe you've told yourself the same thing Michelle did. I should take better care of myself. But the should just sits there, heavy and vague, while life keeps moving and your energy keeps draining and nothing actually changes. Or maybe you did take that first step from our last video. You planted one small hope. You moved your body for 10 minutes. Or drank that glass of water. Or took those 5 deep breaths. And it felt good. For a moment, you felt alive, connected, awake. But then the day happened. The week happened. The demands and the distractions and the exhaustion crept back in. And now you're wondering, okay, I took the first step. Now what? How do I actually sustain this? How do I make caring for my body a way of life, not just a moment of inspiration? That's what we're talking about today. Because here's the truth. Your body isn't an obstacle to overcome. It's not a problem to fix or an enemy to fight. It's not something to ignore until it breaks down and forces you to pay attention. Your body is a temple, not in some abstract, religious way that sounds nice but doesn't mean anything. In a real, practical, life-changing way. And when you start treating it like one, everything shifts. Your energy returns. Your mind clears. Your spirit strengthens. The fog lifts. The ache eases. You start feeling at home in your own skin again. Not because you achieved some perfect body or followed some rigid plan, but because you remembered something true. You were made for more than exhaustion, more than disconnection, more than just surviving in a body you've stopped honoring. You were made to thrive. And it starts with understanding what it really means to honor the temple God gave you. The Apostle Paul wrote something radical to the church in Corinth. These were people living in a city obsessed with physical pleasure and appearance, not unlike our world today. And in the middle of addressing some messy, complicated issues they were facing, Paul said this: "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore honor God with your bodies." Read those words again. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Now, if you grew up in church, you might have heard this verse used as a weapon, a way to shame people about what they eat, how they look, what they do. Your body is a temple, so you better not mess it up. But Paul is saying something far more beautiful, far more empowering. Think about what a temple is. In Paul's time, the temple wasn't just a building. It was the dwelling place of God, the sacred space where heaven touched earth, where people encountered the divine, where worship happened, where presence lived. And Paul looks at these broken, messy, imperfect people, people struggling with exhaustion and addiction and shame and all the struggles we face. And he says, your physical form, that's where God dwells now. That's the sacred space. Not someday, after you get it all together. Not if you achieve the perfect physique or break all the bad habits. Right now, as you are, your flesh and bone is holy ground. Let that sink in for a moment. The form you've been criticizing, sacred dwelling place. The vessel you've been ignoring, holy ground. The physical self you've been pushing past its limits, running into the ground, treating like an inconvenience, God's chosen residence. He chose to dwell there, in you. in the flesh and bone and breath of who you are. Understanding this, really grasping it, changes everything. Because here's the shift: caring for yourself stops being about vanity. It becomes about stewardship. No longer, I need to look a certain way to be valuable. Instead, I've been entrusted with something sacred, and I want to honor it. No longer, I should exercise because I hate how I look. Instead, I want to move because this vessel is a gift, and movement is one way I say thank you. No longer, I need to eat perfectly or I'm failing. Instead, I want to nourish this dwelling place because it houses the spirit of the living God, and honoring Him matters. Do you see the difference? One is rooted in shame, the other in reverence. One is about earning worth. The other is about honoring what's already sacred. One exhausts you. The other energizes you. Michelle asked if caring for her health was selfish, and I get why she asked. We live in a world glorifying self-sacrifice to the point of self-destruction. We're told putting ourselves last is noble. Running on empty is what good people do. Caring for our own needs is indulgent. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't serve from a depleted dwelling. You can't love others well while barely surviving yourself. Honoring your physical self isn't selfish. It's sacred responsibility. Adequate sleep gives you patience for your kids. Proper nourishment gives you clarity for your work. Regular movement gives you energy for the people and purposes mattering most. Caring for the dwelling equips you to fulfill the calling. Paul says, "You are not your own. You were bought at a price. You belong to God. Your life has purpose. Your physical form has a role to play in fulfilling it." Honoring yourself, treating yourself like the sacred dwelling you are, isn't vanity or selfishness. It's obedience. You're saying, "God, you gave me this one vessel, this one life, this one chance to steward what you've entrusted to me, and I'm going to honor it. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but intentionally." That's not selfishness. That's worship. So how do we actually do this? How do we honor the temple in practical, everyday ways? Let me give you 3 pillars. 3 foundational practices supporting everything else. You don't have to master all 3 at once. You don't even have to be perfect at any of them. Focusing on these 3 areas will transform how you feel, how you think, and how you live. Pillar 1, rest. This is the one we resist most. Our culture worships productivity, glorifies hustle, celebrates exhaustion as if it's a badge of honor. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Rest is for the weak. There's too much to do. But God literally built rest into the fabric of creation. On the 7th day, He rested, not because He was tired, but because rest is sacred. Rhythm matters. Even the Creator modeled the importance of stopping. Rest isn't laziness. It's obedience. Getting enough sleep is the foundation. Not someday, after everything calms down. Now, prioritizing 7 to 8 hours because your brain needs it, your body needs it, your soul needs it. Practicing Sabbath is the rhythm. Setting aside time, maybe a full day, maybe just an evening, where you stop producing and start receiving. Turn off the notifications. Step away from the to-do list. Michelle told me she started going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Just 30 minutes. She thought it wouldn't make a difference, but after 1 week, her patience increased. Her focus sharpened. The fog started lifting. 30 minutes of rest became the foundation for all the other changes. Pillar 2, nourishment. Food has become complicated. We've turned it into the enemy, the reward, the punishment, the obsession. We count calories, fear carbs, swing between restriction and indulgence, and wonder why we feel terrible. But food is a gift, fuel and pleasure, sustenance and celebration. Honoring your temple through nourishment means asking different questions. Not, how few calories can I eat, but what does my body actually need right now? Not, what am I not allowed to have, but what will make me feel energized and alive? Eat real food. Food from the ground, not a factory. Food with ingredients you recognize. Food nourishing you, not just filling you. Drink water. So simple, so overlooked. Your body is mostly water. Your brain needs it. Your energy depends on it. Drink more water. You'll be amazed at the difference. Give yourself permission to enjoy food. Taste it. Savor it. Stop treating meals as inconveniences and start treating them as the gifts they are. One person I know started meal prepping on Sundays. Not elaborate recipes, just simple, nourishing meals for the week. She said it removed the daily stress of what am I going to eat and gave her body consistent fuel. Small shift, big impact. Pillar 3. Movement. Here's where we get tripped up. We think movement has to mean grueling workouts, expensive gym memberships, or training for marathons. If we can't do it right, we shouldn't do it at all. Wrong. Movement is simply how the body was designed to function. We were made to walk, stretch, lift, play, not as punishment for what we ate, not to earn our worth, but because movement is part of being alive. Take a walk, around the block, through the park. Just move your legs, breathe fresh air, feel your heart beat a little faster. Stretch in the morning, 5 minutes. Wake up your muscles, release tension, say good morning to the vessel carrying you through the day. Dance in your kitchen, play with your kids, garden, take the stairs, park farther away. Find small ways to move without feeling obligated. Sarah, remember her from our first video? Started running 3 times a week, not to lose weight or look a certain way, to feel alive. She told me running became her moving prayer, body in motion, mind clearing, spirit connecting with God. You don't have to run. You just have to move, in whatever way feels good to you, in whatever way honors the gift you've been given. Rest, nourishment, movement. 3 pillars. Not perfection, not rigid rules. Just intentional practices honoring the sacred dwelling you've been entrusted with. Pick one. Start there. Build slowly. Trust the process. So here's your challenge for the week. Pick one pillar and commit to one small, sustainable action. If you choose rest, set a bedtime alarm, not a wake-up alarm, but a bedtime alarm. 30 minutes before you want to be asleep, your phone reminds you to start winding down. Turn off screens, dim the lights, breathe. Give your body the signal rest is coming. Or designate one evening as Sabbath. No work emails, no scrolling, no productivity. Read a book, take a bath, sit outside and watch the sunset. Let yourself simply be. Or practice saying no. Once during the week, someone will ask you to do something and your gut will say, I don't have the capacity for it. Honor the feeling. Say no. Protect your energy and guard the temple. If you choose nourishment, drink half your body weight in ounces of water each day. If you weigh 150 pounds, aim for 75 ounces. Get a water bottle you love, set reminders on your phone, make it easy, make it happen. Or plan 3 nourishing meals for the week. Not complicated, not Instagram-worthy, but real food fueling you well. Write down what you'll eat, prep what you can, remove the daily decision fatigue. Or practice mindful eating. 1 meal during the week. Sit down without your phone, without TV, without distractions. You and your food. Taste it, chew it, notice how it makes you feel. Reconnect with the gift of nourishment. If you choose movement, take a 10-minute walk daily. Before work, during lunch, after dinner, doesn't matter the timing. Move your legs, breathe fresh air, feel your body doing what it was designed to do. Or stretch for 5 minutes each morning, right after you wake up and before you check your phone. Roll your shoulders, touch your toes. Wake up the muscles carrying you through yesterday and today. Or find one form of movement you actually enjoy and do it twice during the week. Dance, swim, bike, play basketball, garden. Doesn't have to be exercise. Movement making you feel alive counts. 1 pillar, 1 action, 7 days. That's it. You're not overhauling your entire life or committing to perfection. You're simply honoring the temple you've been given with one intentional practice. And here's what I know. The practice will ripple into everything else. Sarah told me something beautiful recently. At first, I thought running was about my body. But then I noticed more patience with my kids, more clarity at work, more peace in my prayers. Taking care of my body didn't change my health alone. It changed my whole life. That's the power of honoring the temple. Health doesn't stay in one box. It multiplies. Rest well, and you think clearly. Think clearly, and you make better decisions. Make better decisions, and you steward your resources wisely. Steward wisely, and you have more to give. Give generously, and you find joy. Find joy, and you have energy. Have energy, and you can rest deeply. It's all connected. It all multiplies. So start with 1 pillar, and trust the seed you plant now will grow into far more than you can imagine. In our next video, we're going to talk about wealth. Not money alone, but abundance. Not financial freedom alone, but the kind of generosity and stewardship transforming how you see everything you've been given. But for now, focus on honoring the temple. Choose your pillar. Take your action. Your body is sacred ground where God dwells. Treating it with intention, resting, nourishing, and moving with purpose isn't about getting healthier alone. It's worship. Let's go.